Hey there, I'm Brittni Schroeder, and business and marketing are my jam. I'm here to walk you step by step through this crazy thing we call business. I'm a small town girl, chocolate eating, Diet Coke drinking mom, marketing guru, automation Jedi, and all around good time. This is your weekly dose of all things business and life, sprinkled with some fun. This is the Redefined Business Podcast. Okay, welcome to another episode of Redefined Business Podcast. I have one of my favorite people ever on my podcast today, my virtual assistant, Ellie Lewis. Welcome, Ellie, to the podcast.
So happy to be here, Brittni.
So we have been working. How long have we been working together? We've known each other since I met Ellie. Let me tell you the backstory. I met Ellie in Houston when she was a high school. Were you a high school senior?
Yeah, I must have been a junior at the time, or maybe I was a senior.
No,
yeah.
Because remember we did some fun pictures before, and then remember?
Yes.
Okay, so She was a junior in high school, and I met her because I knew her mom through my husband at the time, and so we kind of just connected that way. And then she's in college. She got married. Went on a mission for the church. So how long have we known each other? So do the math. What is it?
For a second, I'm 24 and I was like 17.
Yeah.
So yeah, like 7 years.
Oh my
gosh,
crazy. That's crazy. That is
I know.
crazy.
Hey, they say 7 years. That's what it takes to be lifelong friends. So
I know. We're friends forever.
Yep. Yep.
And now she's getting ready to graduate from college, and I'm going to do her college graduation picture. So,
anyways,
yeah. So, but anyways, Ellie has been my VA for a couple of years, 2 or 3 years. Mm-hmm. And we have it's been really cool because we've kind of evolved. We've worked together. She's amazing. And she's come up with new ideas and it's fun. We try to meet once a week in person. But we really do not communicate a ton because we have created some really good systems and automations in my business. And so we just kind of thought it would be fun to kind of go through some of the processes that we have and we've built through the business and kind of together we've changed them and how to streamline. So I think a lot of entrepreneurs, they feel overwhelmed in their business. They think, I need to get a virtual assistant. I need to get a virtual assistant. And then they hire somebody, but then they find that they don't really have a lot more time, A, because they're having to manage somebody, and B, they're hiring a VA because they want help growing their business, and they can't put those expectations on a VA to grow their business. So, what I see is you can't hire a VA to market and grow your business because you don't know how to do it. You have to know how to do it, and then you put systems in place so that they can help market your business. But it's not their responsibility to market your business, to grow it on their own. They don't have to come up with the ideas. You have to kind of give them direction. So Ellie, I'm going to hand the mic over to you and tell them kind of what we do and how we do it in the process of what your weeks look like.
Okay, sweet. So it's awesome because as time has gone on, I feel like we've figured out ways to fine tune and tweak and just make it even more streamlined. But we have an easy little Google Doc. Brittni refreshes it every week. And at the top, we'll have the offer, either the freebie or the promo that Brittni's running. Super great. I know what to promote and where to promote it. And then day by day, we have certain tasks assigned Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And we know exactly what to do. There's no conflict, confusion there. So we have a lot of stuff with repurposing. Brittni does a ton of great content. And it's my job to go and grab that content, say, okay, how can we make it work for all the platforms? We've been looking at threads. We do the Facebook group, LinkedIn, all the things. And then Google My Business is a big one, making sure you're getting those keywords on to your Google My Business. And then podcasting is a cool thing. So should I go into AI right now?
Yeah. Let's talk about how this is something Ellie has just taken and run with it and just okay, how can I use AI? And I've mentioned this before in podcasts that in 2025, I'm really focusing a lot on AI and how to leverage it in your business. And so it's been really cool because Ellie is also studying marketing, and she's always learning new things, or, hey, let's try this, or I learned this. And so it's been really awesome to, learn new things. So yeah, take it away. Tell them the podcasting, how we kind of do that.
Okay, sweet. So when you record a podcast, you put it onto Dropbox. At least this is how Brittni is doing it. And then Dropbox has the cool feature where it'll say get transcript. So what I will do is I'll grab that transcript. I'll go put it into AI, into ChatGPT is what I use. And I say, here is a podcast transcript, convert it into long blog post form. And then I'll just get that. And then there's certain things which if you get into Brittni's membership and watch her videos, you'll see even better ways to fine tune that for SEO. But you'll be able to get that transcript in long blog post form, copy it, and then go and put it, obviously tweak it because ChatGPT still sounds very much like ChatGPT, not like a human being. And so you can tweak it and then put it on the website. And that way you have a podcast and then you have a blog post on your website as well. So through ChatGPT, you're getting a transcript of a blog post. And then I also say from there, create 10 short titles optimized for Pinterest. And then we'll go through and write those. I'll post them to Pinterest. And then there's another quick thing that you can ask ChatGPT to do. Next thing, write me a short meta description for the website. Quick definition with keywords, captions for Facebook, captions for Instagram, and then you're set to go. So that is something that ChatGPT has allowed, or AI has allowed me to streamline like crazy. Instead of listening to the podcast, hand transcribing it, writing a blog post, you still are putting in work, but you're able to accomplish so much more in a short amount of time. Mm-hmm. And so that's been a super big thing.
Yeah. And it's been really great because you can focus on like keywords and, it just takes away, it takes like, I always say minutes add up to hours, and it really helps to just speed up the process of, you can save some of that brain power. Like, okay, what do I come up with that's clever? And again, ChatGPT is not a replacement. It's a tool to use. It's not perfect. Sometimes it kind of is robotic. I love that I'll use it to help me write blog posts or podcasts sometimes. And I chuckle because the first two sentences are literally always the same. It's like, in today's digital
world, yep.
digital world landscape or something like that. Yeah. It always has the same. I'm like, okay, you got to come up with some different material here. But it's just a good starting place, and it just kind of helps. For me, it's like, I don't feel like I'm a solid writer. And so it's just like that inspiration that I'm okay, I can take that and then put it in my own words, but it just saves a lot of time. So that is like the podcasting a lot. Like she said, a lot of the other stuff is repurposing, and I just pulled up my SOPs, and I'm going to kind of go through and kind of go over some of the things that we do. I have an offer right now, and I put it at the top. Sometimes I'll link the graphics to Canva. She has access to my Canva. My main source of content is Instagram. And so I do create that. And then that's where she'll log into my Canva and she'll like repurpose that content. So I'm still the content creator. I'm not outsourcing that. It's just, she's repurposing it. And so for example, we'll have like Monday, and I'm going through my SOP, and it'll say promote the offer, whatever that is. And so she'll go into my Facebook group and she'll just copy and paste and put that offer in my Facebook group. And then there'll be different, like maybe engagement or interaction prompts for her to do, like, hey, post a Facebook poll. And I've kind of given her the freedom now that she knows my business enough. Sometimes she'll do that. Sometimes she'll do something different, but she kind of just has like these ideas. So every day she logs in and it's like, okay, what am I going to do on Monday? Here's some ideas or suggestions, but then she kind of runs with it too, because she's kind of used to it. She knows how the business works. Then we also do repurposing a lot of like old posts on Instagram. So whenever you see those beautifully artistic stories on Instagram, that is not me. Although I can do those, but
you do cute stuff.
I can do stuff when I have the time, but she is very talented. So, and then we just have, different things. So I'll say like, hey, repost, because that's the thing with Instagram is, it has a really short lifespan. And so I've created so much content I've been posting for years. Some of that content is still relevant and still good. And so that's just something that she can do, is like, hey, repurpose an old post that is still like relevant. And then we are repurposing just different things. Like we've been playing around with Threads lately. LinkedIn, we meet and we talk about we did this at the end of last year, but hey, what are we getting ROI on? What's working? If we're putting how much time are you spending on, because there for a while we were doing LinkedIn newsletters. And we were like, we're just not really getting a big return on those. And so, we kind of just talk and say like, what's working and what's not, and what can we tweak and do different things that way. And then it's just, that's Monday. Tuesday is just, Tuesday's podcast day. And so then she'll do the podcast, and then she'll do, Instagram, just some repurposing on Instagram and different stuff like that. And then each day's, just something different. Wednesday might be this. And then we meet once a week and we kind of talk about like, what are we working on now? I'm working on an online business summit again in May. Is that yeah, we're in May. I'm like, we've moved it a couple times, but then we touch base and say, okay, this is what I want you to do. A lot of the stuff I do, I will create scripts or graphics and different things. And then Ellie just kind of just runs with it. And she's used to, really used to the business now. So she kind of knows, we kind of have the same voice now. Don't you think?
Mm-hmm. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Like she knows what I would say. And so we talk that way. We communicate, we text or we Marco Polo. That's really like our communication. And every week is a little bit different, or month, because we'll have different things coming up. But for the most part, like how many hours a week are you working on average, Ellie?
I would say 5 to 6. Right now it's more with the summit.
Yeah.
But right. Yeah. So it's just very little, but you were able to accomplish so much in such a short amount of time.
It's definitely like a minimal, and part of that too, I think, is just having these systems in place. I have some different automations. Like I use Airtable. And so when I blog, if I do a blog post, if I do a podcast and it's ready to go, I have an automation set up that will automatically send her an email that says, hey, this is ready to go. This is ready to schedule. This is ready to promote, whatever. And so we're communicating, but a lot of it's like automations, just different things. So what are other things that you like find helpful in some of the systems that you like? Airtable, let's talk about Airtable a little bit.
Yeah. So Brittni is the most organized person I've ever met. She has got it down to a science. Oh my gosh, that's so nice. Good. That's so nice. Good. Airtable is beautiful. Like I had never heard of it before I started working for you, but she's able to organize. So we have like the main content database where I can go in and I can see the freebies. So all the freebies that Brittni will run, I can access and I can pull from if needs be. There's a place for me to access the podcast, both the files, like the Dropbox files with all the speaker information, and then another tab with actual, like where we posted it, keeping track of promotion with, the headshots and everything like that, links. There's another database with events. And so we can keep track of outreach and people that we've reached out to for either podcast episodes, to be on podcasts, to get guests for the summit coming up. There is just so many things, the marketing. So just really awesome things that as a business owner, you can tap into to keep your team informed with everything and just have it in one spot. So I think that's been a super helpful thing. Keep track of hours there as well.
Yeah. Well, and I think that a lot of entrepreneurs, we have like content out there. We have all this stuff out there, the podcast, the content, and we're putting out, but there is no system. There's no marketing system. And that's how you see what's working. And that's how you know what you're doing, is just by tracking. And I think that's a super important element that, so it makes it easy for Ellie, because she has just like, if she needs anything, if she needs a tutorial, if she needs, I have all my affiliate codes are in Airtable. We do Amazon. We'll do Amazon favorites. Like I'm an affiliate. Talk a little bit about that we do.
Yeah. So again, amazing system. So Brittni has her storefront. So that's obviously a separate thing that I'm sure many of you are all familiar with. And then you go onto Airtable, and then there's the title of the product that you have the affiliate code for, and then a picture and a link, and then when you posted it and promoted it. And so from there, I just go on, I pick a couple of products that I want to promote that week. I'll go into Canva. It's fun to get a little creative with how you post it, but usually it's just a picture of the product. Love this, this has been such a great thing, a link to buy it. And then you just do a couple of those every week. And then Brittni, it's been good for you because it's passive
Yeah. Passive income. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it really is just like having systems. And I think too, one of the things is it helps the systems at first are a little bit of work to keep up, like I even have in Canva, I will like put all my Amazon products there's in a folder, but it's just like having those systems in place. Like you're not constantly searching and constantly going back and forth between two different platforms and, looking for stuff. And so I think when you have those systems in place, it really makes, it's a lot of work up front, but in the back end, it makes things for like really efficient and really quick. So it helps with those different systems. And I think another thing that we have, Ellie's super creative, so she does her own, but having templates that are like pre-made templates that are done. For example, you can have one for like my podcast. I have a pre-made template that is already made in Canva. So all she has to do is drop a picture in. It's already made, put it on the website. So she's not doing that like every time. And so I think having like those systems, and that's what an SOPs are. It's like, hey, this is how you do this. Here's the template. Like, and it really helps minimize like the time. And so we do have like a really good system where I don't have to manage Ellie at all because she knows, we really have not done very much training. I've created the SOPs up front and there's a few tutorials that I have already like recorded and created, but I think that if you are considering getting a VA, and no, Ellie is not for sale. Sorry, no, she's taken. But no, I think like if you are getting to the point where you're feeling like really overwhelmed in your business, start writing your SOPs. And SOPs are the standard operating procedures. So those are the checklists of how to do's, they're instructional how to do's, the different parts in your business. And I think that makes it like super easy just to like, then you hire somebody and you don't have to train them. You don't have to manage them because you've kind of already created that like blueprint on how to do things. I had somebody else for a while doing my podcast for me. And I decided like that, I'm like, oh, Ellie, I just want you to do this. That the other podcast girl wasn't like working out super good. And I don't even think I didn't even have to train her really, because I'm like, okay, here's the SOP. And she just went on, there's tutorials and she just did it. There was a few things that we had to kind of tweak, but it was like such an easy transition. And I see that a lot of times with entrepreneurs where they hire somebody, but then you have to train somebody, you have to manage them. And that you don't want that. You want to be able to find somebody good and then just give them, hey, this is how you do it. And it's really minimal. Don't you think, Ellie?
Yeah. And I think it's so important for like on the VA side to be willing to educate yourself on all aspects of the brand. Yeah. That's what you really have to kind of immerse yourself in it. And I like, even before I did your podcast, like I listened to your podcast. So I knew your voice, I knew everything that was going on. And so I think it's really important. And so that's just an extra thing, but on the VA side, just like be super motivated and like wanting to do good, Yeah.
Yeah. I hit the jackpot for sure with Ellie. She's awesome. So yeah, that's awesome. Well, Ellie, thank you so much for coming on. I hope that those who are listening, like if there's any takeaways, work on your SOPs, your standard operating procedures, start writing down the things that you do in your business, start learning how to market and have that strategy and those databases. So then when you're feeling overwhelmed in your business and you are like, okay, I need to hire somebody so that I can outsource this, it really is an easy transition. And they are doing the tasks that are going to help you grow your business. You have to do the work up front though. That's for sure. So, okay, Ellie, I like to add, this because you listen to my podcast. Yes. I like to end with what is a simple pleasure and a pet peeve. Start with pet peeve first, because I like to end on a positive note.
Okay. I feel like I've been thinking about this for so long. And the only thing that comes to my mind right now, this is terrible. I feel like so shallow. I just hate it when people eat in a quiet room and I can hear them eat. Is that terrible?
That is no, that is one like crunch, crunch, crunch. Like, yes.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so bad. I tried to work on it, but that's a pet peeve.
She's also like the nicest person ever. As you can tell, that was her pet peeve. That wasn't even a good one, girl.
I don't know. I'm sure there's others, but that just, man.
Yeah. Okay. Simple pleasure. What's a simple pleasure?
I love a good thrift find. Like, love the thrifting, Maybe it's just because I'm a college kid, but nothing can beat like a good deal on something that you feel really good about.
Yeah. I can't, my daughter's into thrifting And I just am like, how, like, maybe it's because like, I don't feel like I don't have time, as much time now, but like, I'm like, I cannot like sift through stuff. Like she'll go to like the DI or something and I'm like, yeah, like I don't have time for that. So
it's exhausting, but unsponsored, like comment for Pre-Loved if you live in Utah.
I know, I see you posting on, what is it? Tell me about it.
It's just like, if you know, have you ever been to Indie Clover where it's like a booth concept?
Oh, yeah.
You rent your own booth and then you put the clothes that you want to sell and you price it on your own, and they have really good discounts because it's a week, like every week it's a new set of clothes.
Oh, that's cool. So how often do you do that? So are you shopping there or you're selling there?
Both.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah. So honestly, it's so bad. My husband is like, why are you there every single week? And my friends stalk my location. They're like, you're at Pre-Loved again.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
It's bad, but it's okay. It's so cheap.
Fun. Okay, awesome. Those are awesome. Anyways, Thank you so much for coming on. You're awesome. I love working with you. So you're amazing.
That's the best. Thanks for having me on.
Let's not stop the party here. Head on over to my Instagram or Facebook group, Redefine Your Business, and let me know your thoughts about today's show. I will see you again, same time, same place, next week.